Let's continue our discussion with unit number 7, coping with stress. Studying in school will depend on one's intelligence, hard work, time planning, and good health. Good health includes being stress-free and maintaining a lifestyle with good diet, exercise, and good personal relationship. Now, talking about stress, it is defined as the physiological and psychological effects caused by a buildup of either internally or externally generated mental pressure. This physiological stress represents a wide range of physical responses that occur as a direct effect of a stressor causing an upset in the homeostasis or imbalance of the body. For example, starvation, noise, cold exposure, or even hemorrhage. And then when we say psychological effects, common example of these include emotional problems such as depression, anxiety, anger, or taking care of an elderly or sick family member, traumatic events such as natural disaster, theft, rape, or any type of violence against you or your loved ones. Now, according to Hans Selye, one of the founding fathers of stress research, and in his view in the 1956 about stress, he said that stress is not necessarily something bad. It all depends on how you take it. The stress is exhilarating, it is creative, successful work is beneficial, while that of failure, humiliation, or infection is detrimental. This simply means that our reaction to the stress that we are faced with is the key on the result. If we take it positively, such as a form of motivation, then it will likely lead us to be more productive. But if taken negatively, it may result to depression or any other negative effects. Now, let's talk about the main types of stress. First, we have the acute stress. It is also known as the fight or flight response. Acute stress is your body's immediate reaction to a perceived threat, a challenge, or a scare. The acute stress um, is immediate and intense, and in circumstances it can be thrilling. And examples of this includes being faced with some of your fears, violence, or job interview. And some positive effects of this includes it can boost your brain power, it can increase short-term immunity, it can make you stronger, it can make you creative, motivate you, and it can even enhance child development. Now, um, so this type of stress is something that we encounter especially when we feel cornered. We can find ourselves being able to do things that we can't. Sometimes we even call this as the adrenaline rush. But note that a single episode of acute stress generally doesn't cause problems for healthy persons. However, severe acute stress can cause mental health problems such as post-traumatic stress disorder. It can also cause physical difficulties such as tension headaches, stomach problems, or serious health issues such as heart attack. Example of this would be being exposed to a very extreme situation, like being a soldier and being faced in a war. Then the next type of stress is what you call the chronic stress. This is a mild type of stress that we are commonly exposed with, such as facing deadlines or our responsibilities. The good thing about this is that it can spur us into action, motivate us, and can even energize us. Now, the problem um, occurs when these stressors pile up and stick around. This persistent stress can lead to health problems such as headaches and insomnia. The chronic stress response is more subtle than the acute stress response, but the effects may be longer lasting and more problematic. Now, what are the common stressors that we have? First, we have external Stressors or your external exasperations. These are events and situations that can happen to you. Some of these external stressors includes major life changes. These changes can be positive, such as new marriage, a planned pregnancy, or promotion, or new house, or they can be negative, such as maybe death of a loved one or maybe divorce. Then we also have your environment. The input from the world around us can be a source of stress. Consider how you react to sudden noises such as barking of dog, or how you react to a sudden bright sunlit room or a dark room. Then we also have unpredictable events, like these are your out of the blue. Um, for example, uninvited guests arrive, or you suddenly discover that your rent has suddenly gone up and that your pay has been cut. Then we also have our workplace. Common stressors at work include an impossible workload, endless emails, um, urgent deadlines, and demanding boss. Then we also have social or socializing. Meeting new people can be stressful. Just think about going on maybe blind dates and you probably start to sweat. Like relationships with family often spawn stress as well. Just think back to your last fight with maybe your partner, your any of your family member. Then we also have our internal stressors or our internal irritations. Not all stress stems from things that happen to you. Much of our stress response is self-induced. Those feelings and thoughts that pop into our head can cause unrest, and they are known as your internal stressors. These include our fear. Common ones include fear of failure, fear of public speaking, or fear of lying. Then we also have uncertainty and lack of control. Few people enjoy not knowing or not being able to control what might happen. But think about how you might react when waiting for the result of maybe a medical test. It can be a source of stress. Then we also have our beliefs. These might be attitudes, opinions, or expectations. You may not even think about your beliefs shape your experience, but these preset thoughts often set us up for stress. Consider expectations you put on yourself, such as honors or being promoted just because you come from a family that is considered to be academic. So, what are the effects or symptoms of stress? These may include sudden feeling of fear, insomnia, unusual tiredness, bad eating habits. Now, these are a lot of effects of stress. This might be something that may occur to you sometimes, but these are things that we have to observe, especially if we experience them in a constant basis, because this might actually be a sign that we are now being stressed. So, if ever that we are stressed, what can we do? These are some simple techniques for us to distress. First, learn to relax and rest. The human body is created in such a way that we can be stressed while we need time to distress. And one technique is to relax and rest. Relaxing is subjective to individuals. Some of us prefer to listening music, some do light reading, some do exercise, swimming. But more and more people are using traditional methods of relaxation for like staying ahead of workload stress. You can use this method on your own or participate in tests. If you want to try on your own, start by finding a comfortable place without distraction. Give yourself at least 20 minutes of uninterrupted calming time, and then picture yourself walking along a beach, hearing the tapping of the waves, smelling the salty air, or see yourself lying in the hammock on a warm sunny day. Um, then we also have muscle relaxation. An alternative is to sit in a chair or lie down and practice deep muscle relaxation whereby you tense your muscle in your body and then you relax them. Start at your toes, then your feet, your calves, thighs, hands, arms, one muscle group at a time. Tensing and feeling the tension, then relaxing, noticing the difference. This form, this form of relaxation is excellent for both physical and mental and psychological well-being. You can also take a hot shower or soak in a bathtub to relax your muscles. Then share your stress with your friends or relatives. Select a friend or relative that you are comfortable to share your stress, problems, or difficulty with. The selected person should be someone who is reliable, and at times, the selected person might see the problem from a different perspective and be able to help you. Now, when we say share your stress, it does not necessarily mean that you are going to give your stress to them. However, it means that it is best if you are going to open up about what is bothering you. Let other people listen to your problems and listen to your advice. And then make time for fun. All work and no play a dull will make a jock dull boy. Not only that, but generally without fun, one tends to become stressed and tense. So make time for fun, such as games or going out for your hobbies or going out like singing karaoke or going out with your friends. The most important part there is that you're going to set aside your workload or maybe your academic responsibilities or family responsibilities and make time for yourself. And then check off all your tasks. Get organized and schedule your tasks to ensure that you are not panic or stressed for assignments, project, and submission. The good thing about having a task is that you know what you have to do for this day, what are the things that you have done, what are the progress that you are making. It also helps you determine the things that you should be prioritizing and what are the things that you can delegate with other people. Moving on, we can also pinpoint your stress causing agent. Take time to find out what is causing the stress and avoid it or manage it. This could be knowing your limits and avoiding too much caffeine or etc. Like let's say for example, maybe you've been talking or doing something and you've been uh, let's say for example you are a gamer and then you've been playing too much game lately and then you find yourself stressed. Maybe the source of your stress is actually playing that type of game. Then try to avoid it and or try to manage it by lessening the time you spend doing that. And then prioritize the things that you have to do. Many of us do fail in this trap of inability to prioritize, and as such, everything needs to be done right away, resulting in breakdown. One must be able to differentiate urgent matters from important matters. Remember that urgent are things or tasks that needs immediate attention, while important matters might be something with more of difficulty, but you have a longer duration of time to do them, meaning you can put them off. And not an easy task, but something that you can learn over time. And then become a participant. Do not sit by yourself in a class or activities and get depressed or stressed. Mingle and mix around. This helps. Be participative in activities or work around at home. In this way, you can socialize, talk with other people, and you can get your mind off with the things that are bothering you. And then, of course, avoid self-medication. Do not take medication that could have been possibly given to you for your last doctor visit or attempt to take sleeping pills during your stressful period or after exams. You may not be aware of the side effects and may get hooked onto some medication that you should not be taking in the first place. Remember that it is best to consult your doctors first. So those are the things that we have to know about stress. And remember that stress is not something that is necessarily bad. The key to it is how we manage them or how we react to them. But if we feel stressed or depressed and we can't seem to control it, it is best to talk with other people or seek professional advice. Do not keep it in. Okay, so thank you and good.